Yo, people, welcome back to another stream of Two Up Front. I'm your host, Ace, and as always, I'm with my brother, Major. How are you doing today, bro? Before we get into it, man, it's going to be an action-packed episode.
Yeah, man. There's a lot to talk about. But yeah, you know how it goes, bro. Blessed and highly favored, man. Blessed and highly favored.
We love to hear it, man. We love to hear it. But yeah, bro, since the last stream, so much has gone on in the world of football, man. So yeah, there's so much for us to discuss. We're going to touch on, what happened a couple of days ago or yesterday, I guess, with the Carabao Cup fixtures and what that looks like going forward. Some big games coming up in that. And then, yeah, man, obviously, 10 Heisenberg, his time was up. We knew that going into the last stream, but we didn't know exactly who was going to be the next manager. And it's accelerated very rapidly. So we're going to get into that, discuss, get your thoughts, as a United insider, how you're feeling about that one. So, yeah, and obviously round up with the Premier League preview, a lot of massive games this weekend again. So, yeah, bro, it should be a good episode. Looking forward to it. But, yeah, bro, I think the first place to start, I guess, is I don't know how much of the Carabao Cup games or which games specifically were you able to kind of catch? Because, yeah, there was quite a lot of games all at the same time. So, yeah. What did you catch and all your kind of like big takeaways?
So I caught the Spurs City game. Obviously, I caught what I could of the United game as well. And then I saw highlights of the Arsenal game. I think the Chelsea Newcastle game. So I caught as much as I could. Whilst obviously doing different things. I caught some of the Liverpool Brighton game as well. So yeah. Okay. So I've seen quite a bit, and then even the day before as well, like the Brentford game and the Southampton game, I was able to catch some bits of those as well. So
okay,
yeah. And I saw the highlights of the Villa and Palace. I think I've seen a bit of everything. Yeah, I've seen a bit of everything.
That's great. That's great.
I'll estimate myself.
Clearly, we got there. But so I think between the two of us, we pretty much caught everything because I literally had like 4 different devices trying to catch all the games at the same time. So obviously, I caught them to different degrees. Obviously, Arsenal playing 2, the City Spurs game, the Chelsea game was big too. I think the only game I didn't really catch was the Liverpool game, but I've seen the highlights. So yeah, we'll talk about it, man. But yeah, I think probably the biggest result or the one that was the most surprising was the Spurs. Spurs knocking out City. What did you think about that game? Because I saw the lineups going into it. I said, boy, this Pep guy, he was doing a lot of talking about resting players, and he actually did it. There's a lot of big names that was on the bench, but either way, that's got nothing to do with Spurs. And very, very good win on their side. But what did you think about that game?
I think that's a massive result for Spurs. Obviously, we've spoken a lot about Spurs. There was the interview where Ange says he always wins a trophy in his second season. We know how long Tottenham fans have been waiting for a trophy. And this is a trophy that obviously sometimes gets dismissed a lot by a lot of fans, but a trophy regardless. And I think for Tottenham, if they were able to win the League Cup, that would be really big for them. So I think that was a massive result. Obviously, most of the time when you're going into tournaments, City are going to be right up there when you're talking about favourites to win the competition. So being able to beat them, being able to knock them out, I think that will give them a lot of belief moving forward. And they'll look at this competition and think, we can really try and win this. So massive result for them. And then City, they did rest players. Obviously, Haaland didn't play. They've got a lot of injuries. There's been a lot of discussions regarding their squad. And I think City, I don't think they'll ever be happy to go out. Pep actually, he's had a lot of success in this competition. So he's won it a lot of times.
Bro, they said he's tired of winning it, man.
He's won it a lot of times. So it's clearly something that he enjoys winning. But obviously, I think City, whilst they would be disappointed to go out, the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, they've got a good chance of winning those competitions. So I think it meant more to Tottenham than it would have to City. So I think it's massive for Tottenham being able to get through because like I said, a trophy, that's something that I know a lot of Tottenham fans have been asking for a very long time. So massive result for them. Massive result.
Yeah, no, and like you said, they really opened it up as well. Because yeah, City are always a team you look at that. Oh, who's gonna beat City to this cup? Can't say out of it. It really opens up the field for all teams now. Obviously, I think Arsenal, kind of like what you're saying, where it's probably not a trophy where you're like excited or you really want to win. But I think just from like a mentality aspect for the players to actually start winning stuff, go into Wembley, like that whole process, I feel like is really important. And that's what Pep has shown, which is why when he first came in, would target that trophy. Because yeah, you go early into the season now, you already have a trophy in the bag now. And then now winning breeds more winning. So yeah, I'm they're gonna be looking at that too, thinking, oh, can Slot pick up a trophy in his first year? Like there's like Newcastle, they're on the hunt for their trophy too. So yeah, no, it should be. I think the next round is based on how it kind of plays out. There's going to be some massive fixtures coming up, like on the horizon. I guess if the favorites actually do go through, or there's no upsets. But so that should be very interesting, man. Probably one upset that happened during this was Chelsea Newcastle, because we saw Chelsea deal with Newcastle quite comfortably a few days before we fall. Are they going to just repeat it again? And then we go into this game and we see Maresca changing his whole 11.
Rotation, yeah.
Changing his whole 11. I was seeing Chelsea fans too throughout the weeks. They've been, our B team is so good. Our B team, because they're doing stuff in the Conference League. So it was very interesting to see in this game what the B team was able to kind of cop up against actual very strong Newcastle team. So I don't know what I think I've seen a lot of discourse following this game, but do you kind of stand on the Maresca made a mistake in this, like he shouldn't have rotated so many players, or do you see the logic in what he's trying to do too? Because they do have so many players that have to get minutes. Where do you kind of fall in that kind of debate?
I think I understand the rotation side of things, but I think he didn't have to rotate that heavy. I think he didn't have to rotate that heavy. And I think that's what I've seen quite a few Chelsea fans say, that, you know what, like we understand how big our squad is. We understand that there's a lot of players wanting a lot of minutes. But yeah, like you also could have potentially mixed it up a little bit better. Because I think it was a very heavily rotated side, and I think he didn't have to rotate that heavily. But maybe he might have looked at it and had confidence in the players and thought, you know what, this team is strong enough to get the job done. So yeah, like I think again, when you're talking about Tottenham really wanting this trophy, Newcastle, their fans have been really wanting a trophy. Like I think you can't underestimate like your opposition like in scenarios like this. And like there's a lot of teams who are really desperate to lift some silverware. So I think I think Maresca, I understand why he rotated, but I think he just didn't need to go as heavy. That's my opinion on it. How about you?
No, I completely agree. I think he should have definitely kept some of the core components of the team, because even like he was doing stuff like playing Vega, who's a left back, playing him in midfield, where it's like, just play a stronger team and mix in these other players that are knocking on the door, rather than trying to do a completely whole new 11. Because like you said, I don't know, maybe I think it was naive. And I think like Wendy kind of said earlier, screams of Ange last season. And sometimes, man, maybe these managers have to kind of be burnt to realize that maybe this trophy means a lot more to the opposition than maybe you thought it did. Because I don't know, maybe he expected Newcastle to also rotate a bit more than they did, because they came with a very strong team. So I think it was just naive. I think it was a mistake. And now I think it's probably more damaging from Chelsea's point of view in terms of like they need these fixtures for these players, because I think there's a lot of talk too of like having a big squad, and maybe now this is the advantage. But now when you start getting knocked out of these kind of competitions, there's now less games to go around. So I think it's more damaging from that point of view for them, I feel like, than probably just like in terms of Carabao Cup, in terms of it being particularly important. But they're probably similar to Arsenal in a bit, where they have a young team, and again, you want to breed winning. So it probably would be a big disappointment for them. But I guess they still have the Conference League there as like an alternative. So I think that now also just becomes like a must win. It's already a must win anyway, but it becomes even more important. I feel
Chelsea should be within the Conference League, with all due respect to like the other teams in the competition. But they should be winning that.
Yup. So no, that was an interesting game. Then obviously Arsenal, we went away to Preston. And yeah, I think it was a comfortable 3-0 win. My boy Nwaneri,
The young G.
the
The
truth,
young G, bro.
the truth. Yeah, that guy, absolute baller. So yeah, looking forward to him getting more and more minutes. But yeah, he's definitely shining right now. And I like how right now, like I said, for me, I always edge on the let's be more cautious than throwing these men in. Like let's be a little bit more cautious. So again, the more these kind of performances, the more he knocks on the door. And now Arteta has no choice but to give him minutes. But either way, I love our players are coming back now. I see Odegaard is back on the grass, so I feel like maybe the opportunity to really have played him is probably passing a bit now. But either way, he's shown that he's going to be a solid option to get much more minutes throughout the games going forward. So, very, very good performance from him. And very comfortable Arsenal win. Nothing more to really kind of say. And then we go to the United. The shackles were off. These players that couldn't hit a barn door, they were just missing chances for fun, decided that they want to be scoring worldies and free kicks. So yeah, I don't know what your kind of take on this one briefly is before we kind of get into it.
I think obviously Ten Hag has gone now. Rude, the fans absolutely love him. Obviously what he's done for the club, etc. He's a fan favorite. So the energy was always going to be good. And yeah, for this match, I expected United to win. I think Leicester as well, they rotated. There's not so much I'm going to read into this. Obviously, it is really nice to get the win. It's really nice to score some goals. Some of it, I think, is luck as well, because, I think Rude even put it into that. He's mentioned it in the interview where it was in other games, we've had chances and, it's hit the bar or just not been able to finish, or it's been some of it has been luck, some of it has been poor finishing. But yeah, with this game, I think we got Casemiro's goal, brilliant. But then, we also got lucky in some places as well. So, yeah, overall, really nice to get a win. United scoring 5 goals is not something that, we're accustomed to seeing nowadays. So it's nice for us to, get a win, score some goals. I think Rude mentioned it as well, he wanted to entertain the fans. And I think did that. So yeah, nice to get the win. Obviously through to the quarters now. We've got Tottenham away. That's not going to be easy at all, because I think, like I said, I think their fans are really hungry for a trophy. I think Angie's going to take that fixture very seriously, because it's a quarterfinal, and then after that, you're just 2 games away from Wembley. Obviously, you've got the 2-legged semi-final, and then you've got Wembley, a cup final. You have the chance to play for a trophy. So yeah, this is I think it will be a big game for them. I think for us, obviously, we've spoken a lot about silverware, and for United, silverware is something that's always going to be important. So I think, again, when we're talking about the different trophies that we have to play for, then the League Cup is, probably at the bottom regarding priority. But again, it's still silverware, it's still a trophy. And I think United would want to win that as well. But I don't think that's going to be an easy fixture at all. Because again, we saw how they were playing against City. Spurs were really up for it. So yeah, I don't think that's going to be an easy one at all. So yeah, and I think when I looked at the other quarterfinal draws, I was like, oh yeah, it's the way the draws opened up is very interesting, because I'm looking at Arsenal, Palace. I'm expecting Arsenal to get through. Obviously, we'll see how Arteta decides to rotate and etc. But yeah, I'm expecting them to get through. I'm expecting Liverpool to get through as well. So it's there's gonna be big
Newcastle
teams.
there too.
And then Who have Newcastle got again? Sorry,
they have Brentford.
I would. Brentford are no pushovers at all. Not at all. But I would, especially because of the how desperate I think those fans want the trophy. I think Newcastle would get through as well.
I think they have the home draw as well.
Yeah,
so that's also a factor.
So we're looking at potentially Newcastle, Liverpool, and Arsenal getting through there. So yeah, it's a big. We've obviously got the toughest fixture on paper. So yeah, it's a big one. Because again, Spurs, there's I don't think Spurs aren't going to put all of that effort into beating City to just now not take this fixture serious. So yeah, we know that they're going to be really up for it, and yeah, it's a hard one. But yeah, beat Leicester, can't complain. Like some good entertainment, good feeling. So yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I guess kind of to the transition, because it's probably going to be. I think I saw that the fixtures are going to be in December, like this next round. So which is probably going to be one of the
December.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
December.
probably one of the first few games of what's looking like right now. It's not 100% confirmed, but we see Ruben Amorim is heavily linked to being United's next manager. I thought this would just be an interesting conversation, because I also see he plays with a back three. What does that now mean for like United players in terms of your the players that you have fitting into his system? And I guess your kind of initial thoughts on him being the front runner right now in terms of being your next manager. What's your kind of take on that? Because we haven't caught up on this yet.
Yeah. So as regards to Amorim being the next United manager, I like the appointment. I like it. I like how swift Ineos have moved regarding this. They've not wasted a lot of time. I think a lot of fans were critical of how long they took to sack Ten Hag, and I think they delayed that like a lot, and it should have been a decision that was made earlier. But as regards to replacing him, I think they've been very swift. I think they clearly identified their target, and they've moved straight away. It's been I wasn't expecting it to be this quick. I was expecting a little bit of a saga. People even around me, they were trying to feed the whole Southgate stuff. I was trying to tell them, bruv, it's not happening. Just allow me, man. Yeah, allow me, man. They were trying to feed all of that. They were like, oh, they're saying he's the favorite. I was saying, hey, man, please.
Graham Potter.
So they were feeding a lot, but then straight away it was literally Ten Hag got sacked, and literally not too long after you were hearing the murmurs, and it became clear that okay, you know what, Ineos are looking at Amorim. So I like the appointment. Young manager, obviously what he's done for Sporting Lisbon, and of course we know we can't be comparing the Portuguese league to the Premier League. Of course, we have to. There's only so much we can take his accomplishments into account, but he has done very well there. I think if you see how the Sporting Lisbon fans speak about him, they're I think he's really turned that club around, and they're really sad to see him go. And they've been extremely complimentary of everything that he's done over there. I like the appointment. Obviously, as you mentioned, the three at the back, it looks like he likes to play in the 3-4-3 formation. Obviously, that's something not typical. That's not something that United typically have played with formation-wise, across all the managers that we've had. But I am of the belief of, you know what, if you've got your formation style, way of doing things, your philosophy, come to the club, implement it. Do your thing. I think, if you're making the appointment, then you've got to allow him to do what it is that he wants to do tactically and give it a chance at first. I think you've got to give it a chance. But I am I'm happy with the appointment. But obviously, as regards to expectations and stuff, it's a funny one, because I think I mentioned previously, I was happy initially with the Ten Hag appointment.
There's a lot of comparisons I'm seeing between the Ten Hag and Ruben in terms of on paper.
So I saw what he was doing at Ajax. I liked the football Ajax was playing. I liked how he was developing players. So there was a lot of comparisons there, and obviously we saw how that turned out. So I think it's one of them ones where I'm happy with the appointment, but we've got to wait and see. It's a balance as well of giving him time. So we've got to give him time, but also we want to see signs. You don't necessarily need to have everything fixed straight away, but we want to see signs, and we want to see a plan. We want to know what it is that you're trying to do. But Amorim, I think he's been highly rated across Europe. Like, I think a lot of clubs have been linked with him. Liverpool were previously linked with him. Like, I think when you're talking about young and up and coming managers, I think he's someone that has been widely praised and spoken about. So yeah, like, I'm happy with the appointment. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, what is currently looking like is that he's going to take over during the international break. So I think Ruud is still going to have the next couple of fixtures. So it looks like Ruud will be in charge for the Chelsea match. I think he will also be in charge of the Leicester match at home as well. So our next 2 Premier League fixtures, I think Ruud will be in charge of those. So yeah, like, those fixtures are going to be interesting. And then obviously we got the Europa League game in between. So yeah, that's going to be interesting because Amorim's it's looking like Amorim's not going to come until, like a few weeks. So yeah, like, in between now and then, it's a weird time because it's like, well, you know, Amorim's not here, so we can't judge him. And Ruud, he's interim, and obviously, like, he's just going to do the best he can. And yeah, he's only here for a short amount of time. So it's just one of them ones where we're here and we're just like, well, like, you know, hopefully United entertain, try to do your thing. But there's not really, it's expectations wise is weird going into like these next couple of fixtures because it's like we know the person who's due to come and take over, and we know again things regarding his tactics and his style, the 3 in the back, and things he potentially might implement. So we know things are going to be different when he arrives, but obviously until then, like, football doesn't stop. We've still got fixtures to win, and obviously going into these fixtures, we want to win our Europa League campaign. We've had 3 draws in a row, so we want to get a win there so we can start putting more points on the table. And then obviously, yeah, with our Premier League form, it's been bad, so we want to also pick up some points as well. But obviously, yeah, it's a weird one because, you know, previously it was a thing where it was just like, Ten Hag, we need him to go. He's left. And Ineos have moved swift with the appointment, so we can't be mad at them, like, as regards to like taking long with the appointment, because they've not taken long. But obviously, you know, with contracts and clauses and stuff, like, I think, yeah, they're trying to, you know, find their way around things, and it's looking now that it's going to be, you know, international break, and obviously he's still manager of Sporting Lisbon, like, he's got a commitment there, so there's a lot of things to try and get around. But yeah, like, it's a weird one because these next couple of games, obviously, it's just Ruud ball, man. Like, you get me? We just vibing. We're like, Ruud,
everyone just having fun.
Man. Yeah, you get me? Like, we're just vibing. Like, it's just one of them ones where it's just like, go on, Ruud, man. Again, it's nice because I think I saw someone say this, like, Ruud's a nice bridge between the fans and the club, because obviously he's played for us. He was a great player. He knows what it means to play for Manchester United. And it's always nice seeing people involved with United who, you know, and you can tell genuinely love United. And that's what I'd say even about Ollie. Like, even though it didn't end up working out, one good thing about Ollie is that you can tell Ollie just loved United. Like, you know, like, he loved United. Like, he will put United first. And he's not putting like his ego before United, or like, you know, his status before United,
football
or like,
heritage.
Yeah, do you get me? I think that's where there was and you know what is Mourinho as a manager? Like, I think Mourinho's box office. Like, he's box office. Like, I think there's so much things to like about Mourinho. And yeah, like, I do really like Mourinho, but I think where he had like a disconnect, especially like later on with the United job, is when it just kind of felt like, yeah, it was kind of like his ego, like, versus United. And then, yeah, when he had that press conference and he was saying these different things, and yeah, that's where like the disconnect can occur. Like, that's how it felt. So yeah, whereas, you know, with Ruud, he's one of our own, played for us as regards to, yeah, like, when I say one of our own, not from the academy, of course, but played for us. Do you get me? Fan favorite. So yeah, man, for these next couple of fixtures, it's just like, yeah, man, just the vibes.
Vibes. I
We'll
hear
see
it.
how
I
it
hear it.
goes. We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
No, I do get that, man, and yeah, obviously we'll talk about it a lot more because I'm so interested too with the like Amorim appointment. I think just from the point of view too of like tactically and who the casualties in this current team are going to be, because even you look at his system, you're like, yeah, wingers like Garnacho, Rashford, and man, like where do they all now fit into a back three? So, I think I want to actually have a deeper conversation on that. I think it will
Yeah.
be very interesting.
Very quickly on that. Obviously, I think I saw someone mention that potentially this Amorim appointment, they were speculating that maybe Ineos were planning ahead, like they were planning from earlier with, you know, the centre back signings and etc. I don't know if that's the case. I think that's a bit
That's
too far.
crazy.
But yeah, but obviously, I think how things are set up, obviously, you've got multiple centre backs there. Like, we're hoping Yoro can come back healthy. And yeah, like, obviously, he's a good prospect there. You've got Martinez, you've got De Ligt. Obviously, with Rashford and stuff, I don't think in this system Rashford will be playing as a wing back.
He can't.
Like,
We've
yeah,
seen that he can't.
no,
Yeah,
I don't think that's the role for Rashford. Like, I think Rashford will be playing like further up, like, yeah, like in the formation. So yeah,
that's
and
the
then
issue, bro. The further up are like more centre attacking mids from what I've seen. So
I think it's like it can vary, like regarding like how he wants to play. But and then obviously you've got to combine your profiles that you've currently got with your style and your tactics. But yeah, and then obviously you got someone like Ugarte, who obviously Amorim knows very well, like used to play for Sporting. So there's those elements there, whereas like, yeah, I think that was part of the speculation when they were saying Ineos were they were plotting. They were plotting. But yeah, I think you make very good points as regards to, you know, the system, how it's gonna fit, like, yeah, like how we're gonna line up, like what players are gonna have to make some alterations, etc. So yeah, it will be interesting, man. But yeah, at this point, it's weird. For the next few weeks, it's literally just it's a wait and see. I think it's even one of the ones where it's like, if United play bad, we're just like, we will be able to critique players' performances, but then that's it. Like, yeah, like we're not gonna critique Rude. Like, do you get me? Really, like, there's not that much. Obviously, if Rude's just doing like stuff, which is like, come on, Rude, like, what's going on? Like, bro, like, if you're playing with like
saboteur,
two defenders, bro, like, come on, like, you should know better than this. But yeah, overall, like, I don't think the fans are not gonna be like harshly critiquing Rude, because again, Rude is in the interim role. It's just for a few games. Like, he's kind of been put into this position, and yeah, he stepped up. So like, yeah, I think it's just one of them ones where it's like, yeah, like, I think at most it will be players that might be critiqued if they're not performing well. But these next few weeks is kind of just like it's vibes until Amorim comes in, and then we're like, okay, now we can start assessing things. We can start looking at tactics, formations, player profiles, who's going to be playing where, like what your style of play is, all of these different things. But yeah, until then, it's vibes, man.
Hey, man, yeah, I see that game was Rude Ball is like when school is done for the year, but you start to come in, everyone is just gallivanting.
Yeah,
no,
man,
you're just there. There's no lessons.
Just outside,
just
yeah, man.
Yeah,
everyone's just outside.
Chilling.
You know what? Yeah. You know what this period is, though. It is going to be a interview for a lot of players, and what I mean by that is like they are going to be trying to impress the new manager. So it'll be interesting to see how certain players perform, because I think that's what this period could be. It could be like, oh, you know what, you might have not had like the greatest relationship with Ten Hag, or Ten Hag might have not favored you. A new manager's now going to be arriving. Like, show what you can do. So yeah, but yeah, this period is gonna be, it's a very vibey period. Like, it's just one of them ones where it's like,
where do you stand on the, because I've also seen some discussion on like these same players that got Ten Hag sacked, are they now gonna be performing? Let's say you guys have Chelsea this weekend. Do you expect these guys to like bounce back and have that no manager bounce, I guess, or Rude bounce and actually perform, kind of transitioning into this weekend's fixture against Chelsea? Are you more confident now that I guess Ten Hag isn't there? What's your kind of take? And are you annoyed at the players at all from like a point of view where it's like the difference in like you're clearly just trying more now as well, more than just tactics, because Reed clearly can't really be implemented that much in this period. Where do you stand on that?
I think so. I do think we stand a better chance. Again, we'll see how things play out. Like, it's really unexpected, but I mean, there's a lot of things that it's hard to expect certain things because, again, like we said, we've got an interim manager. Like, we're waiting for the permanent manager, Amorim, to come in and obviously start his role. But I think from a morale perspective, again, because this isn't a period of, we're not in limbo. I think that's the important thing. I think it would be different if we're like in limbo and we're like, we don't even know who's coming in next. Ineos, these lot are trolling. But because it's been very clear as regards to what the plan is, like we know who it is that we're expecting to be the next manager. We know why it's not been able to happen as quickly as maybe Ineos would have liked because of, the contracts and the clauses and etc. So we know what's being done behind the scenes. So I think as fans, like, we're not mad at that. Like, we're like, all right, cool. But yeah, from a morale standpoint, bro, like, again, I know I've made loads of references to it, bro, but like the Tottenham match, it was just so like, wow, man, like you're there. And again, we're in the stadium and we're just like, what is going on? Like, what is actually going on? And I think, again, when I was at the Fulham match, the first game of the season at home, when you're speaking to the fans and stuff, obviously Ineos have come in during the summer. It's the first game of the season. Morale is high. Like, we're optimistic as regards to, you know what? There's still a lot of problems, but it's a new season. You know how every fan has a level of optimism at the start of the season where it's just like, well, it's a fresh slate kind of a thing. And yeah, but I think very quickly, like, the realities of what our situation was, they just became more and more evident. And it was just like, yeah, man. So I think from a morale standpoint, we're like, all right, cool. You know what? With a new manager comes new hope. Like, so we're looking at it and we're like, all right. So before we were thinking things aren't going to get better because we know we've just not got the right man for the job. Whereas now there's questions. And one thing I'll quickly will say is that I've seen some people very quickly, obviously, I'm a United fan, you're an Arsenal fan. And we both we grew up in eras where we both had managers who had been at our clubs for a very long time. So it's like we were raised upon having like this one manager who's almost like just synonymous with your club. Like, yeah. So obviously you had Wenger, we had Sir Alex, and it was like, yeah, like that's all we know. So obviously, and I saw a lot of Arsenal fans say this, when Wenger left, like, it's weird now. Like, it's like you're not used to chop and changing managers. Like, so I think obviously there was Emery, and then Arteta's actually been there for a while now. And yeah, and I think for a lot of Arsenal fans, that's comforting because like that's what they've grown up with. Like, they've grown up with a manager being there and like having time and molding his squad and etc. And I think United fans, obviously, like, all I knew was Sir Alex. Like, all I knew was, like, I remember when he retired. I still remember when the news broke through and they were just like, what? Like, what do you mean, bro? Like, you know, you just think it's just gonna just continue going on forever. And then since then, obviously, there's been a lot of turbulence. There's been like several different managers. And I think sometimes what happens is that because fans are reluctant or they don't like the thought of managers being here and then things getting changed a lot, like, they like have this kind of, they kind of have this willingness to just say, you know what, we're just going to ride through whatever storm, even if you can clearly see this person isn't the right man for the job. And I don't believe that's the mentality you should be having. Patience is one thing, but when you can clearly identify that someone's not right for the job, then you've got to move on. And I'm extremely hopeful that Amorim is the right man for the job. And I hope he's able to, you know, help United progress.
Oh, but what if Amorim, what if it doesn't work with Amorim? Are you going to just sack him too?
Yeah, exactly that, bro. Exactly that. You beat me to it. That's exactly what I was gonna say. But if it doesn't work with Amorim and you can identify that he's not the right man for the job, then he's got to go as well. And then we get someone else in, and then we continue. Like, that's how it goes. Like, it's not a thing where it's just like, you know what, we've got rid of so many managers that, you know, we're just we know this isn't gonna be great, but you know what, like we're just gonna stay with them just for the sake of it. Like, that's not how it works, man. Like,
I completely agree.
He needs time, he needs patience, but obviously, like we can't just be expecting miracles overnight. He needs time and he needs patience, but we want to see a plan, and ultimately we're hopeful that, you know, he is going to be able to turn things around. But if it's clear that he's not the right guy for the job, that's how it goes.
100.
But yeah, but very quickly circling back, I think that a lot of people have spoken about, like, oh, the players, and, you know, these same players getting managers fired and stuff. Well, firstly, that narrative is just not true. So it's like, when it comes to these same players, it's just like, well, it's not these same players. Like, if you look at the players that have been recruited or debuted under Ten Hag, bro, like, he has had
that's his squad.
Yeah, do you get me? Like, he has had total influence over this squad. When you're looking at Mount, when you're looking at Anthony, when you're looking at Martinez, when you're looking at De Ligt, when you're looking at Euro, Mainu debuted under him, when you're looking at Mazraoui, when you're looking at Anana,
bro, back to the new contract.
Bruno, like, it's Xerxes, like, do you get me? There's so many, like, and more, like, this is his squad. So let's get that narrative away. Like, it's not the same players. Like, and I think sometimes when people mention the same players, they're talking about a few players, do you get me, who, like, they're trying to maybe pin all the blame on, which, like, I don't think that's fair. So, firstly, I think it's not the same players. Like, Ten Hag had the opportunity to build these squads. It's not worked out. Like, that's just the truth. Like, we've just got to accept that, move on from that. Like, so that's one thing. Two, I think, as regards to, like, performance and, you know, things being better, because Ten Hag has gone, where players down in tools, etc. I think, again, like I mentioned with the Leicester game, some of it was luck. Like, do you get me? Like, against West Ham, like, Garnacho didn't purposely aim to hit the bar. Like, do you get me?
You have that bar locked, though. He needs to actually work on that.
Yeah, bro.
He hits the bar a lot.
Yeah, he does hit the bar a lot. But like, he weren't like, they weren't trying to do crossbar challenge. Like, do you get me? Like, that wasn't the case. Like, so
that Dalot miss was on purpose, man.
The Dalot miss was crazy. The Dalot miss was crazy. That was crazy. But like, so I think there's an element of, you know what, like, luck. But then naturally, I think when a manager has and when a manager's in a position and you can see that things aren't working out, things don't look inspired, and then that manager leaves. Again, the reason why people talk about new manager bounce, no manager bounce, is like, again, it's almost like it's another chance. Like, it's another chance for players to prove themselves. It's a fresh start. It's a clean slate for a lot of players, like, in their mind. And when I say clean slate, I don't mean that everything you've done before is now all of a sudden forgotten. That's not the case. But obviously, like, you've now got someone else who's going to be coaching, who's going to be managing you. And like, you feel like maybe that will provide more opportunities for you. So naturally, I think a lot of the times, like, there is going to be a reaction. Like, I think that's how it goes. I don't think that, like, again, mentioning a lot of the players, I don't think a lot of the players Ten Hag signed, they were not performing because, like, they just didn't like Ten Hag. Like, I don't think that was the case, man. Like, sometimes you've just got to hold. Don't get me wrong, players haven't been performing well, but, like, and even, for example, sometimes people speak about Rashford, and it's just like, well, people forget that Rashford's, like, best season stats wise was under Ten Hag. Like, yeah, like that happened under Ten Hag. Like,
do you care or any thoughts on the? I don't know if he's done it now. I saw a lot of players thank Ten Hag when he left. I think Rashford was one of the players that didn't. And there's a lot. I guess there was discourse on like Ten Hag backed you too much. Any thought on that, or you don't really care?
I'm not really looking at the socials, and yeah, man. Like, yeah, but yeah, man. Like, I think he's gone. Like, I think obviously it didn't work out, and I don't think you go from, like, again, Ten Hag was like a highly rated manager at Ajax. I don't think you go from like a highly rated manager, a good manager, to a bad manager overnight. But things clearly didn't work out, and I think, yeah, he carried on just making things worse for himself. And we've spoken about the post-match press conferences and all of these things. Like, I think, yeah, man. So I think that whole atmosphere wasn't positive for the club, and I'm happy that it's gone. And I think naturally, again, like I said, Ruud's now in charge. A lot of the players, they would have watched Ruud. They know how great of a player he is. That could help bring a, some extra, like an extra spring in a lot of their steps. Like, okay, you know what? Like, Ruud's there. Like, again, like I said, he's a good bridge between the fans and the club. Like, so I think he would have the respect of the players. Obviously, he's got the respect of the fans. So yeah, there might be a natural, like, better reaction, but it doesn't, like, United are still not, like, we're still, a lot of the problems that we've identified, they don't all of a sudden just disappear. So for this Chelsea game, it's really like trajectory rise. Chelsea have been doing better than us. Yeah, like Maresca's come in, and obviously we spoke about the loss to Newcastle in the League Cup, but I think overall a lot of Chelsea fans have been happy with Maresca. So yeah, like it's gonna be such a weird game. Like, I'm just gonna be there, literally. I'm just gonna be watching. I'm just gonna be like, United. Like, do you get me?
Okay, so in your mind, is there any pressure, or from the point of view of obviously Ruud, but then it still is a 6-pointer where Chelsea right now 6 points ahead of you. If they beat you in this game, it goes to 9 points. Or have you already kind of just given up on top 4 this season from Lacazette in terms of what losing could mean? Where do you kind of stand
for
on that?
United? So I think, again, when we're talking about pressure, there's not pressure on Ruud because, again, Ruud's interim manager. There's not, for these fixtures, it's got nothing to do with Amorim because he's not here. So if there's going to be pressure on anyone, it's players. Like, I think if they put in bad performances, again, I think Amorim can come, he can look at that, and yeah, you don't want to start off in that way. So I think if there's going to be pressure on anyone, it's going to be on players to perform. Yeah, obviously it's still early in the season. Do I believe United, like, are going to get top 4? I would say currently no, obviously, because yeah, there's just teams that are better than us. That's just the truth. But of course, it's a long season, and you just want to start, like, putting wins together. So yeah, like, of course we would want to get top 4, but I think it's hard for us to really look at it. Like, if we were to lose again, we know what the plan is. We know that a new manager's arriving, and I think wherever we're at when that new manager arrives, like, that's not his fault. So yeah, like, if we lose against Chelsea and then we lose against Leicester and we lose the Europa League game, and Amorim takes over, and we're in whatever position in the table, like, that's not his fault. Like, from there, we can only judge things from where he's taken over. So that's why this little in-between period's weird, because it's just, yeah, like, we know what it potentially, of course, if we lose, then yeah, like, we go further behind and stuff. But as fans, like, all we can really do, again, we can only look at players. So if we lose and the players have really bad performances, then I think, yeah, we can critique players, like, we can criticize players. But anything outside of that is just kind of like, we just got to wait. It's weird. Like, we just got to be patient and wait. Like, that's all we can really do. We just have to wait. But yeah, like, I think obviously because of how we started the season, United, it would be great if we were able to get a win. Like, that would mean a lot as regards to, because if we can, the better the position we are when Amorim takes over, obviously, like, that's the better for us. Do you get me? and our chances of, like you said, fighting for a top 4 position, even though I think it's going to be extremely difficult. And yeah, and obviously I think the Europa League as well, that's a really important competition for Man United this season, because again, trophy, but also winning it, Champions League place. So yeah, like I think that competition's got a lot of importance. So yeah, we've got to really try and turn things around there. So yeah, bro, it's a weird one. Like it's a very weird time where we're just like, yeah, it's like you got a few weeks of just not really knowing at all what to expect, and it's weird because like there's before, I think if Ten Hag was still here and he was to lose, then we can clearly identify that, you know what, this manager's an extreme problem. But obviously in this scenario, it's like, well, the manager's gone. We've got an interim manager who is a fan favorite, who like we love, who we can't put we can't put too much blame on him, like as regards to how the results go. Obviously, we want him to try and set the team up to the best of his ability, and we want to definitely see effort, and we want to see us go for it. And yeah, like we don't want to just see rubbish, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, we already know what's happening in regards to the permanent manager, so it's kind of a waiting game.
Okay, where do you stand? I guess kind of tying this into, I guess, how you can give me your prediction after this too, in terms of how you see this game going. But where do you stand? And I'm seeing a lot of Chelsea fans are very, very confident about coming and winning this game. Do you hear their confidence, or are you still like it's still OT and these players should still like bounce back, or are you just like you don't know what to expect at all?
I understand their confidence because they've got like a good team. Palmer, you know how highly I rate Palmer. Like he's been balling. Maresca looks like tactically he's figuring things out. Caicedo, he's really picked up his form. Obviously, we've spoken about Lavia, Reece James. Obviously, like if they can keep him fit, he's recently come back. So I think Chelsea fans, they have a lot of reason for optimism. Obviously, the Old Trafford thing is like, because Fulham Tottenham game, I thought that we would be able to get up for that, but obviously the manager who was in charge for that game is now gone. So I think I understand why Chelsea fans are confident. I think it's a weird one for like United fans, honestly, bro. Like it's just like I don't really know what to expect. What I would expect is that I think the crowd would be up for it. Like, so I think OT will be rocking. Like the crowd will be up for it, and I think like I expect a certain level of like commitment for the players, and I think we'll have an element. I don't think Rude's just gonna sit back. Like I think he's clearly gonna go for it. So if anything, I think it potentially might be quite an entertaining game because like I think he's gonna go for it. So yeah, how that will end up for us, I'm not sure. Like, okay. So
well, boy, you need to be sure, because I want to hear your prediction. Then what's your
bro? You know what it is? I think this prediction for me is very simple because when I'm not sure and there's loads of different factors like to take in, then I feel like I just have to side with United. Like, do you get me? Like that's my approach to it. Like, it's like cool when like I can't assess anything. I can't look at the manager. I don't really know what to expect, etc. So like I think I could do the boring thing and say, you know what, Chelsea have been better than us, so I'm just gonna go for Chelsea to win. Or I could say draw, but because I just don't know what to expect, I think I'm just gonna side with my team. And then yeah, man, if we get beat, it really wouldn't be a surprise at all. But like I think in situations like this, I'm just gonna side with United. Like not because of any sort of analysis. Like I said, like there's nothing to analyze. Like I don't know what's gonna happen with United as regards to formation, selection, all of these different things. Like so yeah, like I don't know if Rude's gonna go with like same lineup that he went against Leicester in the League Cup. Like I'm not exactly sure like how he's gonna go about things. And yeah, whilst obviously those 5 goals were great, there's only so much you can read into beating a Leicester side that was rotated in the League Cup at Old Trafford. So yeah, man. When there's so many question marks, I think logically it would make sense to go for a Chelsea win. If I was a Chelsea fan, I would be confident. I fully understand why a lot of Chelsea fans are confident. Like, it makes sense to me. But yeah, this one here, I think this isn't about. I'm not doing logic. I'm gonna side with my team. So
okay,
I'm gonna say 2-1 United.
2-1 United. All right, cool. No, I hear it, and I get what you're saying. To be fair, and I can't. I need you guys to get out of this limbo as quickly as possible because I need some. I need some jeopardy.
Yeah.
Being fair, I hear what you're saying in it. Like,
Yeah.
there's only so much you can really base your prediction on because there's not a lot that we've actually seen. But I guess from my point of view, as like from the neutral from the outside, like I think it's gonna. I agree with what you said. I think it's gonna be a really entertaining game. Like I think Chelsea away from home too, they get goals. Palmer, that guy coming off the back of what he did against in the Newcastle game when he actually played, ridiculous. So it's gonna be interesting to see whether he can kind of bring that form to OT as well. Jackson's been really good so far this season. Like you mentioned, Caicedo is probably one of the best midfielders so far this season. Been really good. But again, bro, you know me, I'm Chelsea. I will always stand on the fact that Sanchez guy is a bum. And because I think he's a bum and because I don't trust Chelsea's defense, I also think you guys, because you are going to go for it, I think I don't really understand Chelsea. I get their confidence from they've been playing well, but defensively, I still think they're so vulnerable that they're vulnerable enough that at OT, with the crowd behind Rude, with the players having nothing to really lose, going at it, I think it's going to be probably a tougher game than maybe Chelsea fans kind of see this one going. Because, I kind of echo what Wendy was saying here, where she said Chelsea fans need to learn from Liverpool fans last season. Can't be predicting jobbins, which I think she referring to when Liverpool were playing you guys, and they also thought they were going to destroy you guys again. So I think sometimes, man, these kind of jobbing kind of results, I feel like they never happen when what's it called? Like you expect it. So I feel the Chelsea fans are so confident coming into it. Gives me more confidence that this game is not going to be what you guys think it's going to be. I saw a stat earlier, bro. Very quickly, that they haven't beat you guys at OT in 11 years.
I was about to say, bro, at OT, bro, they don't win. Yeah, they don't win at OT.
I thought we had a bad record at OT.
You guys had I think you beat us last season and you beat us 2020, and then before that you hadn't beaten us since 06. It was a thing where I was when Arsenal come to OT, it was a thing where I just knew you guys weren't winning. It was just one of them ones. And I think we've got a very good record against Chelsea at home. They don't typically beat us, but obviously these are just very weird circumstances. And even going on what off the back of what you were saying, bro, it's funny because football can work out like that, because I remember when Liverpool beat us 7-0, that was the season where obviously United finished third. We finished above Liverpool, and a lot of people were actually thinking, oh, you know what, this game's going to be interesting. Could United go to Anfield and do something, etc. People were thinking draw, people were thinking maybe Liverpool will nick it tight, a tight win. People were thinking United might nick a tight win. And then obviously the 7-0 happens. And then when people were expecting Liverpool to absolutely batter us, then obviously I think
that was earlier that season, right?
Earlier that season when we'd lost to Brighton, we'd lost to Brentford, and then we had Liverpool and they were coming to Old Trafford and it was looking long. Then obviously we beat them 2-1. So it's just and then even last season at Anfield, we drew 0-0. At Old Trafford, we drew 2-2. Obviously, we beat them in the cup. So football can be funny, when it comes to these type of things. But man. But also at the same time, I do understand why Chelsea fans will look at it and think, you know what? United have been horrible, and we have been showing potential, so we're expected to put them to the sword. So I get it.
I get that. And I see Yabo's comment here, which says that we cannot lose, and I do echo those words, which is why for me, I'm actually going to go for a draw in this game. I'm actually going 2-2, just because I think I can see Chelsea being the favorite. I think Chelsea probably are the favorites based on what they've shown us so far this season, 100%. But I think OT. Even I know from experience that even when I felt like Arsenal have been comprehensively better than United, we've still struggled to come to OT and still win. So that's one thing. And if it was Ten Hag, I'd be a lot more. I would have said Chelsea come in there, it's a wrap. But the fact that he's not, then the players have more kind of reason to, like you say, try and press Amorim and try like actually make a name for themselves, knowing that all the pressure's on you. No one's looking at Rude at all, so you can't really get away with throwing him under the bus.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna rise a bit. I do think you guys are gonna perform probably better than maybe people are giving you credit for. So yeah, I'm going for a 2-2 in this game. I think it should be interesting, but
I think that's
I can see you guys getting a couple goals too. Yeah, but then, bro, moving on to the next, I think, big fixture this weekend. Arsenal, we go away to Newcastle. And yeah, man, this is a fixture that we owe Newcastle, man. Off the back of last year, what these lot did to us with that Buki goal.
Disgrace.
That Buki. Oh, bro, you even reminded me. Man. Nah, I'm sorry. Trying to stop Drogba getting himself into further trouble. Nah, man. Nah, absolute disgrace. Because even this year now with Villa, this one, they wanted to read it out. When Villa played, who did Villa play in Prem last game? Where
Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think in that game there was a similar touchline, ball off the pitch. This one, I think it was a McGinn goal.
Yeah. McGinn.
They ruled it out.
Yeah,
this is what they love doing.
Yeah,
one rule 1 year, then the rule changes. But whatever, we move. So we owe Newcastle for that performance in that game. I think it's going to be very, really, really difficult. But like we've both spoken about, I think because of the points that we have dropped so far this season, this is definitely a game that, as difficult as it is, we need to go there and pick up all 3 points, man. Like, I think defensively, we've been all over the gap so far this season. But Saliba should be back now. I think Gabriel, I think his injury was more impact. So it looks like he should hopefully be okay for this one too.
Okay, so, is he good to start? I
don't know if he'll be, he said that he didn't play him in the Preston game out of just, I guess, not to risk him. So it's suggested that he's probably okay. So, yeah, and Gabriel, he's a warrior, man. I'm sure if he can, he'll be there. So I think, but I think it's going to be really, really difficult. But I'm hoping now that more of our back line is coming together now. Timber should be okay. Ben White's there. Saliba, Gabriel, Rice. So I think more of our team is coming together. Probably the big miss right now is Odegaard, but he should be on the way back really soon as well. So I'm a lot more optimistic, I guess, from Arsenal's point of view. But Newcastle, they also hold a massive threat, man. Look at Isak. I've been critical of him so far this season, and he's had ups and downs so far, but I do think he's starting to have more ups now. It seems like he's starting to get on the underscore sheet. Like Gordon is a massive threat on the transition as always. So yeah, Newcastle at St. James's Park, you can't underestimate them. So I think this is a fixture that it should be difficult, but I expect Arsenal to still pick up the points. So in terms of my prediction for this one, I'm going for a narrow Arsenal win. I'm going for a 2-1 in this game. But yeah, bro, how do you see this one going, and what's your thoughts on this game?
I think obviously we spoke about the Chelsea fixture midweek. I think Newcastle, they will be like bouncing after that. Like, I think that was an important win for them, especially because they lost to. It's always nice when you've lost to a team and then you have a chance to face them again and then you can beat them. Even though it was like a heavily rotated team, obviously still were able to beat Chelsea after losing to them. So yeah, I think they will be like feeling good about that result. Obviously, Gordon's back. That's big for them. So yeah, St. James's Park, I think it's the early kickoff on Saturday as well. So yeah, man, it's never an easy place to go. Like, it isn't, like, even though Newcastle, they've again not been the most impressive this season. And I think, we spoke about them and how, especially even early on the season, they were picking up points, but they weren't performing well. And we're thinking, you know what, like, it's probably there's a good chance that might catch up to them. I think Isak, that's going to be like, he's going to be so important for them. It's really important that he's putting the ball in the back of the net, that he's playing well. Because like, we know how good he is, and obviously your club has been linked to him heavily. So yeah, like, that's going to be like massive for them, if just beyond this game, but if they can just get him fit and firing, because he's so important for them. But yeah, like, overall, I don't think this is going to be an easy game. Arsenal, Saka being back is absolutely massive. It's funny because I think even against Preston, he came on, and I think Arteta was saying that like, yeah, you said you wanted to come on for a bit or something along those
Yeah,
lines.
he said whenever I'm here, I want to get some minutes.
Yeah, like,
I said, bro, I traveled. I might as well
yeah.
get on the pitch. Let me
He
touch
said he
grass.
wanted to, yeah, like he
Yeah.
said, yeah, that made
Which
me
was
laugh.
actually very eye opening, you know, because I'm always really critical about Arteta for him when
Yeah,
he
people were
plays.
saying, "Oh,
And
Saka's
now I'm saying, bro,
been
Saka
the
might be
bully
the
the whole
problem.
time."
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
they said Saka's been the bully the whole time, bro. Saka said, "You best play me, bro. I'm not playing about, fam."
Bro,
Like,
I'm
what?
not signing another
Yeah,
contract. Man, I'm getting this pitch right now.
you best play me, bro. So yeah, nah. I think that was funny, but yeah, Saka, like, great player, man. We saw
He's
the
on
goal.
fire right now, man.
Yeah, no,
like,
we saw he started to. He's just, you know, like, we know what to expect from him now, and yeah, he continues to deliver. And yeah, we've seen him as regards to his set piece delivery. We've seen him as regards to, you know, him cutting back onto his left foot, delivering like pinpoint crosses into the box. Obviously, we spoke about his ability to, you know, go on the outside, cross with his right foot as well. I think his finishing as well has been great, like, over the last, like, not just this season, but last season as well. Like, his ability to finish on his right foot, the ability to finish on his left. Like, I think he's got a variety of finishes now. Like, he's got that kind of like Henry finesse to the far corner, but then he's got that rifle, like high into the roof of the net with his weaker foot as well. Like, yeah, man, like, Saka baller. Like, he's a proper baller. And yeah, he's so influential for Arsenal. So yeah, having him back, I think that's absolutely massive. Havertz as well, he scored during the week. I think, yeah, it's important that he continues to score, that his confidence remains high. Obviously, we spoke about, you know, the young G, man. Like, you know how much I rate him. And it's interesting as well because I think that I understand Arteta's want and willingness to protect him. Like, I fully get it. But yeah, man, you need to let this guy play a bit more, man. Like, yeah, just need to let him play a bit more, man. Because honestly, yeah, man, like, from early, every time I've watched him, just like look at it and I think baller. So, yeah, he's cold.
Separation.
Yeah,
man.
he's cold, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's cold, man. Like, yeah, he's really cold. So yeah, I agree with you. I expect Arsenal to get over the line. I think it's going to be a tough game, but there is very little margin for error. Like we've discussed, obviously 5 points gap with City, 4 points gap with Liverpool. And I think, yeah, Arsenal, they just need to be going on a run now. And yeah, I expect them to get over the line. And yeah, bro, I actually said 2-1 for this one as well. So yeah, I think I'll match your prediction there.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, no, that should be a very interesting game. And moving on to another very interesting game this weekend. I want to get your take on initially to get how you see this one going, because yeah, Spurs versus Villa. Because, you know, I always like to give you the carpet, you know, when it comes to Villa, because as everyone knows, hey, that's your team. So yeah,
Villa.
As a Birmingham local, how you? A Villa fan, how you feeling about this one? You confident,
bro? Hey, firstly, United forever. But just gotta make that clear. But yeah, I think this is, again, we spoke about Chelsea and United potentially being an entertaining game. This looks like this will potentially be an entertaining game. Like, yeah, I think you've got two high lines. Yeah, you got two high lines. I think, yeah, obviously we've seen how like Emery can switch it up tactically. And yeah, like he can approach games in different ways. But yeah, I do expect this game, however, though, to be like an entertaining one. I can see there being a lot of space to like run into. I think it's the type of games where Watkins, I think he will like enjoy. Like, I think it's the type of game for him. Like, you know, he loves to like run into the channels. Like, obviously, yeah, like trying to get on the shoulder of the last defender as well. So yeah, I think that's gonna be like a game potentially where he could be thriving. But yeah, obviously Tottenham as well, morale wise, I think they'll be feeling themselves like they've obviously got past City in the cup. I think that would have helped regarding the feeling that they would have had with the last result against Palace, the loss. I think, them beating City, I think morale-wise, that would like help a lot. And I think sometimes that's something that a lot of people say, whereas like a lot of people, you know, sometimes you say, oh, I don't want to be in this. Oh, let me just focus on the Premier League and I don't want to like. But I think, again, a lot of footballers say this is that when you've just had a loss, the thing that you want is a game straight away. Like you want the next game to come. You don't want to wait for ages. You want the next game to come as soon as possible. Like that's what you want. And I think with Spurs, they had that disappointing defeat to Palace. And then obviously the City game has come around and they've been able to get the win. And I think morale-wise, that would be extremely significant. And obviously Villa got knocked out of the cup, which I think they'll be disappointed about because again, like I think there's a lot of clubs where winning a trophy would be like magnificent for them. But obviously Villa have still had a really good start to the season, league-wise and Champions League-wise. So yeah, I'm expecting an entertaining game. I think, this is one of them games where like you're looking at it and it is a bit hard to call. Spurs are at home. Villa are a really good team. They started the season well. It's a difficult one. So I am thinking draw. I am thinking draw. That's what I'm thinking. And
it's a tough one.
What scoreline? See, what I've got written in my notes is 2-2. And I'm thinking, I was thinking 1-1, but I see them both score. I'm going 2-2. Yeah, let me go 2-2. 2-2 draw. Yeah.
I hear it. I hear it. I think for me, this is definitely a fixture that I've gone back and forth on in terms of which way it's going to go. Whether us can Spurs edge it because they're at home. Villa, I guess, how are they going to bounce back off the back of their kind of loss? And it's been difficult, man. But you know what swayed it for me, bro? I think everything that you said, I completely agree. I think Spurs have a lot of ways to hurt Villa too, man. Werner, fair play to him, man. Very good goal against City, and he's going to be a massive threat on that transition as well. Solanke, he has been playing probably better, but he hasn't been getting the goals. That's another interesting one. Johnson, looks like the goals have dried up a bit, but again, he's still putting himself in a dangerous position, so he's going to be a massive threat in this. But you know what swayed it for me in the end, bro?
What, bro?
I see VDV go off holding his hamstring.
That's big.
I see him holding his hamstring, and I say, if he's not playing now, once on the system and Dragusin is going to have to come in, that's now what's now edging me a bit closer to Villa. And then I think what's kind of set me over the edge now, where I think last week I went for a Tottenham win against Palace, and Palace got the win. And I think I'm going to go for a Villa win in this game. Also because what I know from also Emery and like my experience of him is, as much as we become a set piece team, Villa are also a set piece team. And Onana and what they've done and what Vicario was showing me in that City game as well, with also how he deals with that too. I think I'm going for a Villa narrow win here. I think it's going to be very tight, but I'm going 2-1 Villa for those factors.
Fair play. No, factors. I think that's some good analysis. I think that's a very fair shot.
But it can go either way. I think a draw is a very
difficult game, man. Difficult game to predict, man. Difficult.
It can really go either way. So, but that's what I'm thinking in this. That's what I'm thinking. And then going to another game, probably similarly to the Chelsea Newcastle game, running it back to back. You know, Liverpool just beat Brighton in a tough game in the end, winning 3-2.
3-2.
But they're running it back again this time at Anfield. And bro, firstly on this one, very on the game, but just a quick side thing. Is Robertson finished?
He's not the player he used to be. Like, I think that's quite clear. I think a lot of Liverpool fans will even say that. And man, like Robertson was a great left back for like many years. But man, like in that, I think you saw it in that Arsenal Liverpool game. Like Saka was cooking him, and it's not just been Saka. Like it's been several games where you're looking at it and you're just like, he's not the same player. I think finished. I think when You know what it is? I think as regards to who he was, I don't think he's getting back to those levels again. But I think like he can still contribute, but he's just like you can't be expecting the same Robertson like from a few years ago. So as regards to that level, then I think he's finished that as regards to performing at that level. Like so man.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I think that was and then another kind of interesting conversation in this game, obviously off the back of that Brighton Carabao Cup game, is Gakpo and Diaz are really battling it out for that left hand side. So again, who do you think is gonna get the nod in this one? And how do you see this game going? And then I'll give my analysis to you. I'll give my prediction for this one first. But
okay, cool. Man, they've got a good. Again, it's a great problem to have. Like when you've got two players like battling it out for one position. Again, we spoke about Duran and Watkins, and you know how Duran being there again, he scored in midweek again, and like how that's helped bring out the best from Watkins. And I think like when you know that you're not comfortable in the starting lineup, and you know that if your performance is dipped, then someone can easily come and take your place. I think that's a positive thing. So I think we've seen Gakpo like perform in that position very well for his country, and I think that is probably his best position. Diaz, he started the season very well, and like he was performing very well, and then again he got a goal midweek as well. And like I think it's a good dilemma to have. I think I'm not sure who Slot will go with. I'm thinking I think he might just go with Diaz. I think Gakpo started midweek, so I think he might just rotate it again. That's what I'm thinking.
But Gakpo, his goals as well, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. Those were goals of
great goal. Great goal. So it's like I know a lot of people have been speaking about they think potentially like Tsimikas is going to come in for Robertson. So Robertson played, but Tsimikas is potentially going to play the Premier League game. And I don't know if it will be a similar thing for Gakpo and Diaz, or if it will be a thing of, you know what, Gakpo, well done. You've passed the audition. Exactly. You've earned yourself a place in the starting lineup. It could be that. So like I'm not sure, bro. I would probably say I think maybe rotation wise he might go for Diaz, but I think is a very fair point that Gakpo very well might have just said. Like I think Slot might have looked at Gakpo and said, you know what, you've earned your place a spot in the starting lineup. So
but then but again, Brighton too, man, they're no pushovers, because even in that game, Liverpool cruising, and they made it very tight for them in the end. So they're also going to be a massive threat. But in terms of
sorry, bro. Bro. I was even going to say, I'm even like just to correct myself. It's funny because I think they both started that game.
Oh yeah, they did. Did on the right.
They both started that game. Just even to correct myself. So they both started that game. But obviously, we know he's gonna come back.
Wait, you don't think you that silent?
We know he's gonna come back. Could you get me? So So now again, like, is whether like I think Gakpo again, he performed really well. So even from like a minutes perspective, like they've both had like quite a good amount of minutes in midweek. So it might actually just be like a who the Slot think is just like performing better. Like rotation might not be a heavy thing here. Like it might just be like a do you get what I'm saying? Like I don't think maybe Slot is not going to factor in, I need to rotate. He might just think, you know what, I think currently this is the player who's performing better. So it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens. See what happens. But sorry to interrupt you, bro.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. So but in terms of how I see this one going, off the back of that Carabao Cup game too, and just I think Liverpool were very comfortable. But I think probably what cost Liverpool and made the game a lot more difficult than it needed to be was I think Kwanzaa didn't have a great game, and obviously Liverpool's starting defense is going to come back in. So factoring that in, and based on this, how much of a threat I think Liverpool are too, I'm going to go for a 3-1 Liverpool win in this one. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win. But yeah, I think it'll be tight. But yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1. How do you see this one going, bro?
Yeah, bro, very similar, man. I think Brighton, for as good as they can be and for as good as they can play, they will give up chances. And I think at Anfield, yeah, man, like I see Liverpool scoring goals, but also whilst Liverpool's defense have been quite good this season, I think Brighton have got enough about them to also score. So yeah, bro, I have to 3-1 it as well, man.
3-1 it.
Yeah, that's what I've actually written. Yeah, so after 3-1 it.
No worries. I'm gonna let you go first in this next one. This is another one that usually it'll be probably a open and cut case, you know. We'll know exactly how much time, who's going away. But there's a bit more, understand? I'm seeing what Pep is saying, talking about we're in trouble.
13 players.
We're in so much trouble.
13
Pep is actually
players.
hilarious, bro. The way he
13
talks, I can't take him
players,
seriously.
man. Yeah,
but it's serious, but I can't take him seriously the way he talks. He's always trolling. So we only have 13 first team players, and see Savinho get stretched off in that game. Yeah, obviously KDB is not gonna be back until after the international break now. Like, I don't know what's going on with Foden. Like, so there's a lot up in the air for City right now, and they're going up against a Bournemouth team that dealt with Arsenal, went away to Villa now, were able to pick up a point, and now City are going to play them with everything in hand. How do you see this one going, bro?
Yeah, bro. Like typically, like you mentioned, normally I'll be thinking, cool. So City will win. How many goals do I think they're gonna score? No disrespect to Bournemouth, but yeah, like I think right now with the injuries, with even just how City have been playing, it is very interesting, this fixture. I think Bournemouth as well, they've, again, you spoke about the 1-1 result away to Villa. They beat you guys. Chelsea beat them, but Chelsea shouldn't have beat them. Like, yeah. So, yeah, man, they've performed. Like, they have performed. Like, Bournemouth can cause trouble. So, yeah. It's, oof, man. I think Foden, again, they really need him to step up because, yeah, like, I think he's all ready to go. But, yeah, they need him to step up with all the injuries they have. And, yeah, I think Haaland, obviously, he was rested, so he should be good to go. But he needs service. Like, yeah, Haaland needs service. So, yeah, I think, again, like someone like Foden, he's going to be very, very pivotal for seeing this fixture as regards to not just service, but as regards to unlocking spaces. Because, you know, Foden, with how he plays, with how he can dribble, like someone like him that can create space for Haaland. So he's going to be really important in this fixture, I believe. But yeah, man, Bournemouth, like, it's not easy. It's not easy. What am I going to go with? I think I am going to 2-1 it to City. Yeah, I'm going to 2-1 it. Just.
I hear it. I hear it. And yeah. I think this is going to be a really, really tough game, man. Because, I've seen what Bournemouth can do up close and personal. And, you know, I really rate Bournemouth too. I've been seeing it throughout this whole season that they're one of the teams I really enjoy watching. They play with a lot of intensity. And like they don't give you a minute to rest. And what Spurs also showed in that game is that with City, sometimes if you don't respect them, obviously you respect them, but if you also are in their faces, them too, they also give you chances, and they always can give you that customary goal. And we've seen teams that if they had better finishing in the last few games against City, probably could have pulled up further ahead. But obviously, if you don't kill your chances, City are going to score. All of that said, I actually am going to go for City dropping points in this one. And I think I'm going to go for a 2-2 because I think it's going to be tough. And I feel like City have been living dangerously for a while now.
They have.
Like, they've been living dangerously for I think Bournemouth have enough to really, really stress them, especially with the players they have out as well. I think it's going to be tough. So, yeah, I can see a narrow City win, but I think I'm going to go 2-2 because I can see Bournemouth getting a couple, like, in this game. So, yeah, I'm going for a 2-2 draw in this one.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair shout, man.
Yeah,
I think that's a fair shout.
Yeah, because I think they've been getting away with it. I feel like in some of these fixtures, and I think now with these injuries can be the difference. But again, no, it's definitely hopium too. I need them to start dropping points. But this is definitely the type of game I can see it happening. Just how Bournemouth play and what the threats that they can cause City in this one. Like my boy Semenyo, man, guys, a real problem, a real handful. Walker's out. I don't know whether I like what's his name. What's his name? The fullback. My brain's gone blank.
What, Rico?
I like Rico, man, but I don't know if you can do with a man like Semenyo. I'll be real. Semenyo's a real man. So, boy, that's going to be a very tough hour, depending on where he plays. I feel like it could be. Probably, I would want him more to play on that side than against Vardio, because he's also a real man. But I think Rico, that could be a.
Is Vardio good to go?
Is he also another? I think I didn't see much about his injuries. I don't know how bad his situation is, because he went down right at the end of the match, I think. Against, so I don't know if you can check quickly on that one.
Yeah,
so,
just having
they are missing a lot of players. So so I'm going 2-2 in this game. And then while you're having a look at that, the last fixture that we're going to talk about, this is a real mid-table clash. There's two teams that are doing really well, and I hope it'll be interesting to discuss, because it really go either way, man. You know, my Haaland boys at Fulham, they've been cooking this season so far. Brentford have been cooking this season so far, and they're gonna clash this weekend. You know, with Brentford going away to Craven Cottage. I thought this could be another really interesting game to see how this one can go. Because Brentford, they've been scoring loads of goals, but they've also been conceding a lot as well. So I don't know how long they can.
Brentford have been entertaining, man.
They've not been a Brentford that we're used to. Like, bro, they used to be solid and then nicking their goals, but now they're just getting machine for machine. And Buemo's flying. Wissa, he's come back on flames as well. So they have a very good team. Fulham too. Jimenez, he's been in really good form this season. My boy ESR, have to always big him up. I was seeing, I think in the last game, I saw him go on a nice run. I see the Arsenal fans, this is why we shouldn't have sold him. I said, bro, just let him go. Be happy he's going and wish him the best. But so he's going to be a massive threat. I think, what's his name too? Reece Nelson, he's been knocking on the door to start, because that oiled up bodybuilder, he's such a threat, but he's such a dead baller at the same time, man. Oh my god, bro. If he had end product, he's probably one of the best players in the world, because he's so dangerous, but then in the final moments he just gets brain lags. But so we'll see how this one goes. So I think both teams going forward have more than enough to hurt the opposition. I thought this is why this could be a really interesting game to kind of talk about. But before I'll give my prediction first in this one, but I'll let you kind of give your thoughts on this game too, bro.
Yeah, man, I think this is an interesting game. Like you said, Fulham, like we've seen the threat that they can cause this season. They've got a lot of good players, and man, like really dangerous team. Brentford, we've seen the threat they can cause this season. They've got a lot of good players, and man, really dangerous team. So I think, like you mentioned, Brentford, they've just been entertaining, man. They've just been 4-3 in, 5-3 in. Like they've just like attack wise, obviously Tony left, but we spoke about Mbeumo and we spoke about Wissa. And
also, bro, I have to put my hands up and apologize, man, because I was talking down. I rate Mbeumo. It's never like I don't rate him, but I have to. I think I downplayed
the flag.
I downplayed that guy's quality, because he's ridiculous. I just have to come back and say, you were right to say him by himself is a massive problem.
Bro. Even when Wissa was out, I was saying, bro, this guy is he's cold, man. But I think. This is gonna be. I think it'll be a good game. Like, I think it's a good game. Like, I think Monday night as well. So, like, I think it's a good game. Like Fulham Brentford. I think it's difficult, man.
Yeah, man.
Difficult. What did I write initially?
Let me. I haven't even put a prediction in this one. Yes, I'm literally gonna be thinking on the spot.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking. What it is? I've said, again, because it's so hard for me to call, I'm thinking draw. But as regards to scoreline, I am not sure, man.
Like how many goals? But I think that's the issue, is that I would want to lean more to a low-scoring draw, but both teams get goals. So I'm now thinking, is that even...
I was initially thinking 1-1, but then I'm thinking bruv, Brentford just be scoring and they be giving up chances. So can I go for a 1-1? Like, does that make sense? And then Fulham, they've got like enough quality players. Like, obviously, like about Adama, like, I think, if he had end product, that would change this game massively. I think one of the best players in the world is a stretch, but I hear what you're saying. Like, it would drastically improve him. Like, I think because he does a lot of things right.
I can't keep La Masia. You could be, bro.
I said you believe. I hear it. But yeah, man. Bro, this is a hard one. I do not know. All right, cool. I am going to say, should I edge Fulham at home? Should I edge them? Fulham drew to Everton away last match. It was like
no. Fulham drew to Palace.
No, Palace.
No, that was yeah. Oh
yeah,
I think that was the wrong
they drew
picture,
to. I think they drew to Everton. Yeah.
No, you're right.
I am going to 2-1 Fulham it. Just 2-1 Fulham it. Yeah.
Oh, that is so tough.
That is hard. Yeah, this is hard.
That is so tough. You know what? I think I'm gonna be safe. I think I'm. I'm behind you right now. I'm going for TT. I'm.
Could I change it?
Nah, bro.
Fulham, let's go.
I need you to decide for me, bro. I need these points.
I hear it.
I need these points. But so now, bro, there's a lot of really good fixtures this weekend. So now it's gonna be really interesting to see how a lot of these games go. There's a lot at stake for a lot of teams, whether I'm deciding to drop any points. But bro, that is a Premier League preview. Spoken about a lot today. And I think the last thing before you wrap up is if you wouldn't mind bringing up the FPL, you can just do a quick update on how last week was looking. I don't even. Again, I know it wasn't pretty. We'll talk about it. This week, I'm locking in now. That was my final week of trolling. I'm changing my ways now.
Cool. Can you see that, bro?
Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah, man. Obviously, do you wanna talk through it, or do you want me to talk through it?
If you don't mind talking through it, actually.
Cool. So obviously, bro. I see what you're saying. You know what is? We should start with you.
Okay.
Let's start with your team, because I think obviously you done some interesting things this week. So you could talk through your decisions, but obviously, so 55 was your total this week, and if we just scroll down, we've obviously got your team there. But yeah, bro, obviously the most notable thing is that you played your triple captainship. But do you want to talk through your team?
Yeah, I played my triple captain because I said Haaland versus Southampton versus we're gonna play our football no matter what. So I thought, and he should have. Again, the triple captain, I think I just needed 2 goals for me to feel justified. Yeah. But the fact that he only got 1 was very painful. But again, it's a risk when you play the triple captain in it. But overall, if I'm being honest, I'm looking at the rest of my kind of team. It definitely also helped my week. So it's like I made what would have been probably even worse week, at least average. So again, I'm still kind of within touching distance of everyone above me. Like I haven't fallen too far behind. So again, this was another week of me not really having time to really think about what I want to change. But I know going into this weekend now, big changes are coming in my team, bro. Big changes. Okay, the fight back is starting. That's what I'll say.
Okay,
the fight back is starting. I've been loading, being patient. But I think now it's time. I actually have to wake up because now I'm starting to fall behind a bit. But
I did.
I'm still not really too worried right now because it's still early in the season. The triple captain is gone, but hopefully we're gonna still find out what that mystery chip that's coming in at the start of next year is gonna be too. So
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so again, hopefully it won't be too damaging me using it now, and there's gonna be other fixtures that people are gonna use it and maybe not get the points that they also think they should. So it was disappointing. I kind of wanted more points, but yeah, wasn't too mad. And then just briefly looking at the rest of my team, Havertz and Ketia are not great. Smith Rowe, he got me an assist, which is good. Eze finally delivered a bit. Probably could have even done a bit more in that game against Spurs, but again, decent. Saka, which was I'm a big kind of risk, or whether he would even play in this game, but thankfully for me, he did, because my week could have been even worse. And then the only other noticeable kind of thing was Henderson. I think he in goal got me 8 points, which I'm not too mad at. That was quite nice. So overall it was like I got 1 point above the average, so it was an average week, but I think the damage wasn't too bad. It's just a bit disappointing in terms of the triple captain. I would have liked that to work out a bit more in my favor. But either way, I think there's some kind of pros that I'm gonna keep to myself for now, and then we're gonna see. I'll be back for the next one, man. Hopefully this weekend will be a lot better for me. I'll say that. So that's kind of my take.
I think with the triple captain, obviously when you're playing it on a single game week, there is an element of risk, but I fully understand like deciding to play the triple captain when when City have got Southampton at home. And on another day he could have scored more. And then that completely changes things, because if he gets another goal, then he'll get bonus points, and then thin lines in it. But you know what was funny, bro? For a second, obviously, I was looking at this page and I was seeing the Arsenal badge and and I was like, what's going on, bro? Like, what? And then I realized it's because I'm on your team. I was thinking, what? Like, what am I seeing?
But you're a secret Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I was thinking, bro. I said, what imposter? But going on to my team quickly before we talk about the league and then the league leader. So I had 63 points this week. So I think probably some of like the notable moves that were made were, obviously I brought Mbeumo into my team. I've spoken about Mbeumo a lot. I can't.
He's definitely one I regret, man. You know when you see a player, you feel like you didn't bring him in early enough, and now you're thinking, oh, is it too late? But he's still just bagging.
Ideally, I probably would have wanted to bring him in earlier, and that's why I was literally like, you know what? Nah, this week I am bringing him in. So I brought Mbeumo in, and obviously 15 points.
So you sold Saka.
So Saka's someone, probably he's going to return to my team soon, but with like the injury, because on my bench it wasn't that strong, and even though I thought he was going to play, I couldn't afford for him not to play. So I thought he was going to play. I was pretty confident he was going to play, but I just couldn't afford him not to play. And I thought, you know what, Mbeumo, I'm happy with Mbeumo there. So I think probably where I was a little bit disappointed was Kulusevski. Like, he didn't really do much. Just a 1 pointer. So but obviously, man, like the big hitters, Palmer 10 points, and Salah 10 points. Obviously, they done their thing there, and then Rico Lewis as well got the clean sheet. I think Konsa was so close to a clean sheet, obviously, and then Bournemouth literally got like the last minute equalizer. And then I captain Haaland, same kind of thinking as you, City at home to Southampton. I wasn't prepared to use the triple captainship yet, not because I think it was illogical, but just because I would just prefer to use it on a double game week.
I hear that.
Whenever that is. And then I'll assess my options as regards to who I'll put it on. But overall, 63 points, average was 54 points. Steady. I think it was like a steady week. So we move, I think this week is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be an interesting week. And again, it'll be interesting to see what changes people make. But man, obviously you can see me there. I'm second, and first is Bend It Like Bukayo. And man, interestingly, Bukayo's not here. But I hear it. I do hear it, obviously, with the injury speculation and stuff. But 59 points this week. Yeah, I think similar to me, like that midfield of like the Salah, Palmer, and Bremo, like 10 points, 10 points, 15 points. Like, yeah, that was big. Like, very big. Konya, I can see there 9 points. Like, yeah, that's a solid contribution.
Yeah, it's a good differential.
Yeah, like that's a really good differential. Not a lot of people have him. And then, yeah, went for the Foden captain. I'm thinking probably, obviously, the whole season. I think Bennett, like Bukayo, there's been no Haaland, and obviously with City being at home to Southampton, probably thought that, you know what, Foden would be a good choice for that, which I completely understand the logic. Yeah, but yeah, 59 points this week, and that was enough to stay at the top. And yeah, if we're just quickly looking at the leaderboard, we've got Bendit like Bukayo, obviously there with a total of 574 points in first position. I'm in second position with 564, so just 10 points behind. We've got Unorthodox Change in third, just 2 points behind me.
Yeah, 71. Yeah, he brought in Wood. Yeah, Wood. He's been people
Wood
have
bro. This guy, bro, has just been he's been causing so much problems, man. He's been causing so much problems. But yeah, Wood, shout out Chris Wood, he's been doing his thing. But yeah. And then 2 for 2 there as well in fourth with 549. And then you've got Vini Vidi Vichy with the 549 as well, 70-point game week. So yeah, man, like it's tight. Like it's tight. Obviously, like you can see, like, yeah, man. Just even looking at the points, there's not much separating.
Oh, actually, bro, quickly, I have to give in 15th, Ashanti. I have to give her a shout out, man. I've told you, this girl's like, she's like, what, like 7? Oh, no, swear. Like 9 or something, or like, I know she's young, yeah, but she's young, so everyone underneath her, hey, if she catches you, bro,
shout out Ashanti. No, that's wicked still, but yeah. But yeah, no, the league, obviously, it's still very early, man. Like, there's a lot to play for. Like, things can change very quickly in fantasy. So, yeah, like, I think, yeah, I've got off to, like, a solid start. Yeah, this week I need to think about, I'm weighing up different options. Like, I'm not fully sure as regards to what it is that I'm going to do for this week, transfers wise. Like, I've been thinking about different things. So, yeah, obviously, I think the game week deadline is now, like, there's no Friday game. There was a Friday game last week, so I had to make decisions earlier. But this week is the early match on Saturday. So, you know, like, Saturday morning will be the deadline. So, yeah, man. That is that for the fantasy. Obviously, if you are not involved in our FPL league, the code is running across the screen right now, and obviously in our description as well. All the information is there. Please feel free to join. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, I mentioned it on the previous episode, but me and Ace, we've got a competition going. So one part of the competition is the FPL. So whoever finishes high in the FPL league, they will win that element of the competition. Then the other,
I'm leading them both right now. I need to wake up. Oh my god.
Then the other part of the competition is our prediction league, which I showed in the last episode. But yeah, I'm currently leading in that. But still a long season to go. But yeah, if one of us wins both of them, then we've won the competition, and the other person has to buy them a football shirt of their choice. And yeah, if it's split, so one person wins one and the other person wins the other, then it will go to the decider, which would be our pre-season predictions. Or it wasn't exactly pre-season, it was after the transfer window. But yeah, our Premier League predictions, after the transfer window closed, our Premier League predictions, and that would be the decider. So whoever was more accurate there. But yeah, like, long season, man. Like, obviously, I think earlier on Ace was leading, I think, in both with the FPL and the predictions. Obviously, it's flipped now. Yeah, it's flipped now. So now I'm leading in both. So yeah, man, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So yeah, I'm just staying very calm. One game week at a time. One game week at a time.
Nah, bro, be confident, man. I'm out of it.
One game week at a time, man. One game week at a time. You know me. So yeah. But yeah, bro, that's the FPL section.
Nah, thank you very much for that. And yeah, no, I guess kind of final words from me in this episode. Another great stream as always. I saw this comment earlier that I thought was quite nice where Roki says, hey mate, I've been really enjoying your streams, which is why I gave you a follow. I'd love to share your content with my friends so they can check it out and follow too. If you're cool with it, feel free to add me on Discord. So again, just thank you for the kind words overall. And yeah, we will be sure to follow you on that. And yeah, no, and to everyone else that regularly tunes into our streams, that we really do appreciate it. We appreciate that you enjoy spending this time with us as we kind of just do what we enjoy, which is just talk football. And hopefully you are always entertained throughout it and you are enjoying these streams as well. And as always, like we've said a few times, if you want to come be involved as well, then please don't be shy to reach out to us. Like we'd love to get other kind of insights and other people's opinions as well, like throughout this. So thank you. I really appreciate you guys. So yeah, that's kind of my final words, broski. Let you wrap it up.
Yeah, like always, want to echo Ace's thoughts. And yeah, man, like whoever's watched this stream for 1 second, 30 seconds, a minute, half an hour, the whole stream, again, we greatly appreciate it. We appreciate everyone who's been sharing, liking, subscribing, whoever's been supporting the stream, engaging with the stream, commenting, however you've been just interacting and supporting us, we greatly appreciate it. And yeah, like Ace mentioned again, if you want to get involved, if you would like to feature on the channel, on the episode, please let us know. We'll be really happy to accommodate that. And yeah, it's always nice to be able to, just talk football, have a laugh. We like doing the tactical analysis, and we also like having the banter. And yeah, part of what makes the dynamic great as well is that we support rival clubs, and yeah, we also know each other, and yeah, we're close. So it's always good to just speak to your boy about football. Do you get me? We're doing what we were doing anyway, but now we're able to just share it with all of you, which is great. So yeah, we really appreciate all of the support, and I hope everyone has a great Friday, great rest of the Thursday, almost at the end there. But yeah. And obviously, tomorrow, 1st of November, hope everyone has a great November, with whatever it is that you're doing. I just hope it's great. Obviously, 2 months left of the year, almost, basically. So yeah, man, I just hope everyone has a great end to the year. And yeah, hopefully you'll be able to engage with many more streams. Obviously, we'll be here streaming away. So yeah, man. But again, greatly appreciate all of the support.
Yup. Thank you very much, people. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the reaction video. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I can say that for sure. So yeah, catch you guys then, and thank you again.